I've always been kind of conflicted when it comes to game preservation, more so with unreleased and prototype games anyway. I do feel like commercial games from 20, 30, 40 years ago, whatever, definitely are worthwhile to, have preserved to retain access to them. To me, yeah, it's about access. But when it comes to prototypes and unreleased games, I've seen so much hypocrisy out there where there'll be this front of preservation for historical reasons, but if you kind of dig a little deeper beyond it, it's typically about access. Like I just said, hey, I'm not against access, but it'll be more so about access and status type of thing. But, regardless of how you feel about that kind of stuff, I'm just honest. You said I'm a little, kind of conflicted on these kind of things, as it's not the most important thing in the world to me. Every once in a while, something interesting pops up, as Frank Cifaldi is bringing attention to these two unreleased, one-of-a-kind, never digitized games for the original NES on eBay. These are up right now. He states this has literally never happened before. And at the Video Game History Foundation, resources are stretched thin and they could use some help. They can't just start throwing out money to preserve games. They need your help. You get a tax deduction type of thing, right? Now, it may be a little tiny bit of nitpicking here, but one of these games is amazing to see. Like, I've never heard of this. The other game isn't as crazy to me, and we'll get into these in a second. Look at the eBay listings, and I'll put links down below if you want to check them out, maybe even bid on them. But one of the games was released on the Famicom, and it was a complete game, and this is the North American version of it. But yeah, it's a game that exists elsewhere, but to say it was never digitized, meaning ROM dumped, you always got to kind of take those things at face value, because you don't know if somebody ROM dumped them or not and is holding on to it for themselves. But this one for sure, the one that's a NES version of a Famicom game, definitely has been dumped. And there's a reason for it, and we'll get into that in a second. But let's take a look at these two listings, right? So right now, this NES prototype demo cartridge from Rare, unreleased partial game, is currently at $5,255 with about 2 days to go. Location is Los Angeles, California. $9.90 expedited shipping, right? 27 bids. Get in on it now. TV Hop 6, 100% feedback. But here's the cartridge. No picture of the actual board here, but they do have some information at the bottom. The game is called Scanner. This was a CES sample. Please return to Rare Coin It Inc. Version 0.4? Okay. Let's take a look at the description real quick. Collectors, this is a one-level prototype demo of a game called Scanner, which was designed for the Mattel Power Glove, also playable with a controller. I believe there's only one other game designed for the Power Glove, so this is kind of interesting, right? And this is not a game anybody's really heard of or talked to. I mean, they heard of it at CES in 1990, but it's kind of, disappeared since then, right? So this is kind of a big one from Rare, okay? This is for the 8-bit Nintendo Entertainment System. Software was developed by legendary Rare. Scanner was in the early stages of development and was demoed at the 1990 CES show in Chicago to gauge retailer interest. Unfortunately, Mattel's Power Glove went into a death spiral around this time, so development was canceled and the game was never completed. They state this is from their husband's private collection. He was a game designer and is guaranteed 100% authentic. How can they guarantee it? I don't know. That's a discussion to have if you win this thing. Can people fake this? Yes, you could easily print a label like that. You could easily print a label like that. Maybe looking at previous cartridges from these, from Rare. I don't know. People can, for sure, do this kind of thing. But, it seems legit and there's a lot of interest behind it. But they can guarantee it's 100% authentic. Discussion to have with them, right? The game was tested in a retail environment and is playable, but it was a short test, so the game being offered as is collectible. Feel free to contact with any questions. And I thought this was kind of funny. Maybe they did not realize what this thing's going to go for. At like $5,000 right now, and it's still got a couple days to go, it's going to go for quite a bit of money. Now, this will definitely be a discussion to have with this person if you win this. But they state it ships with a USPS priority mail flat rate envelope. I should have grabbed one to show you what these things look like. But if it's a standard flat rate envelope, Yeah, I don't know about all that. If they box it and put it in the envelope, maybe, and then there is flat rate bubble envelopes as well. But something like this selling for thousands of dollars, yeah, you could put it in a box, wrap it up, and put it in one of these envelopes to a certain degree, but I would feel it would need quite a bit more protection than that. Have it in a bigger box, very well wrapped, insured, signature confirmation, all that kind of stuff. Whoever wins this, I am sure will have that conversation with them, because if this gets sent in an envelope, somebody steps on that bish, that thing is cracked. Maybe the board will be damaged. Something's going to happen that's not going to have that value to whoever bought it at that point. So interesting. They did add a note later on this short demo of the game that was never produced. It's not a complete game. So yeah, link down below if you want to buy this, right? Dump it for yourself, never share it with the world. I don't care. But yeah, let's move on to the next one. NES Battlefields of Napoleon, US English prototype, WADA with documentation production boards. So, as I said earlier, one of these games they said was not digitized. This went through WADA. It was ROM dumped. WADA took the dump of this. Did they dump? I don't know. They dumped it though. This one's currently at 5,200 with 5 days left. 14 bids. Holy crap! Net difference with 100% feedback. Sebastopol, California. I don't know where the hell that is, but there is a lot more interesting pictures here versus that other one, even though the other game I find more interesting, as there is a Famicom version of this game already. So here we go. They got the WADA grading and all that, like encapsulated type of thing. Battlefields of Napoleon, unreleased game, unique development board established, provenance. Okay, Cart Pro. I don't know what all that means. I just don't care for WADA, but there you go. English localization of Napoleon Senki, right? Was released on the Famicom. So the game already exists. It was going to be released in August '88 by Broderbund. No prototypes of the official translation are known to exist. So that is interesting. And there's actually, this is a full game. I mean, should be a full game. There's actually like a lot of interesting stuff here. Like the box art and then the actual box art to send to Nintendo to have it printed off and the game packaged up. Very, very interesting stuff. We're going to have to read the description. I've not read the description on this one yet. But yeah, like little mock-ups and stuff for coloring. See box for color break. Strip and logo type from interesting. I find that interesting. Here's the little like what is this? Like almost like a transparent cell thing, whatever. I forget what those things are called. But yeah, there's a lot going on here. A lot. Is this like for the manual? I don't know. But there you go. Video Game History Foundation report. Okay, but Video Game History Foundation is looking to get this thing. Okay. There is no known instance of data for this unreleased game being available to examine before now. Provenance. The item was submitted by Alan Weiss, former employee of the game's publisher, who claims to have been the producer. Though there is no documentation to establish this, it is likely true, as Weiss is credited as the product manager on many of the company's NES games. We conducted a brief phone interview and verified his identity. The item was rescued from a dumpster during downsizing of their assets. Okay. So yeah, there's it running in an emulator showing all the English. So there's all the images. Let's read this. Oh, okay. What we got here? Prototype with dock production boards. Unique, one of a kind. Rescued from a dumpster. Though not pictured, all documentation boards transparencies are included. This includes WADA certified prototype on a unique development board, production boards, which would have been used to create documentation and a manual, an extreme rarity in and of itself, as these are typically sent out and never returned. Yeah, I don't think I've seen too many of those, but that's interesting. Not all boards are shown. They should show everything. I know this could sell for a shit ton of money. Also included on memory card is ROM image of the game, although my understanding from Video Game History Foundation is that the only circuit board that can run this game is inside the WADA case. Seems to be unique in the NES market. There's much more information in attached pictures, unique one-of-a-kind piece of history. So there you go. How do you guys feel about this kind of stuff? How do you feel about it being preserved? All this kind of money, donations. Let's get this thing to the Video Game History Foundation. I do think this is really, you know, the other game I find more interesting due to the game, but the complete set of stuff that this comes with makes this extremely, extremely interesting. Yeah. So there you go. I've shared my thoughts, my opinions. Everybody can have one. Let me know what you think. Thanks for watching. Bye.